Oh, hello again. Glad to see you have come back. Ah, geez, I'm really not liking my hair. I think it's about time I get a trim. Cause yeah, I do love long hair, but like this is like too long for me. Like this is the limit. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. Well, I'm sure many other snowboarders out in the world are. Well, I'm sure I'm not the only snowboarder in the world that is frustrated because we can't snowboard in this weather at this time of year, depending on where you're at in the world. And who knows if the resorts are even going to be opening up anytime soon. You know, this pandemic is getting crazy. But I think I've got a solution. Introducing a cruiser board. I think that's what they call them in this generation. I don't know. I have always known these things as skateboards, so I guess you can say I'm a boomer in a Gen Z's body. Anyways, let's take this thing for a spin and see if it can satisfy a snowboarder at this time of year. Sorry about all the background noise. There's a lot of construction going on, airplane flying up ahead. But anyways, so I will say that I am a a lot of you are gonna think I'm stupid because I did this without a helmet. I myself think I'm stupid for that, but ever since I've moved into this neighborhood, I haven't seen my helmet ever since last year. Like, fun fact, actually, last time I ever wore my helmet was when I went snowboarding last year. but ever since then I haven't been able to find it ever since. Hopefully I can find it by the time snowboard season starts this year. What a rush that was. It was great, it was fun. Of course, it's been a while since I've actually skateboarded. I will say skateboarding alone is fun and it's cool in its own right, but I still prefer snowboarding very much. I prefer snowboarding over skateboarding any day. See, it only narrows down to opinion. I prefer snowboarding because, you know, overall, because when you're skateboarding, you actually have to worry about all kinds of things that can cause you to get severely injured if you're not careful. Like, yeah, you can definitely get injured snowboarding easily. In skateboarding, you know, like you're riding on a hard surface and you always have to make sure you're on a smooth, hard surface at all times. And you have to watch out for things that could easily stop you, like interlock with your wheels. and then cause you to go flying off. Because that has happened to me many times throughout my skateboarding career. I'd always get stopped by pebbles when I was going too slow, and also just my wheels would catch onto rocks all the time. Also, I hate hitting bumps on the sidewalk. It's just not fun. And then later in the day, your legs start hurting because of all the bumps you were hitting on your way to whatever destination you were trying to make it to. Whereas in snowboarding, you don't really have to worry about any of that. Of course, you can easily go flying off of steep hills and things like that, you know, whenever there's a huge bump. But for the most part, you're just gliding on powder. Another reason why I prefer snowboarding over skateboarding is because I really, really love the nature. Like, my whole life I've been a major mountain person. You know, like I grew up in the city my whole life, but nevertheless, I've always been addicted to going in the mountains. You know, the only reason I never lived there was because the city is where all the jobs are, and my dad, you know, my dad works here, so whereas with skateboarding, you're always in the city with the polluted air, and I'm not a big fan of the city scenery. Like, I don't know, it depends on where I'm at though. Like, I'm just not a big fan of being in the neighborhood and all that. You know, like, I've always preferred to be surrounded by pine trees and animals, and, you know, seeing a crystal clear sky, you know, being surrounded by a nice environment also just really adds a touch. Atmosphere just really adds a touch. But yeah, I'd really like to know, you know, what you guys prefer, you know? Do you prefer skateboarding or do you prefer snowboarding, you know? I love it, but yeah, it'll never top snowboarding for me, nor will it ever really be the same, you know? It just doesn't co-bond. Anyways, that is about it for today's video. I could have stuck to the plan a bit better. I'm not really satisfied with how I acted on camera. I actually had to sacrifice shutter speed to record outside. Like, I really gotta get ND filters for this thing. Hopefully, my birthday is just next week, so I should have some by then at least, hopefully. Anyways, peace out, guys. See you next time. But also, like, I hope you're willing to stick around, especially if you're a major snowboarding fan, because that's going to be a big part of this channel's criteria once snowboarding season comes. It's not going to be the main topic of this channel, but it will absolutely be a big part of this. The resorts may not open this year, depending on where this pandemic goes now. But who knows, you know, they might open it and limit their numbers, but I'd say there's little to no chance of it happening just because there's a ton of people in the state of Utah who just love snowboarding as well, and skiing too. Anyways, yeah. Peace out for real.